Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Mr. Cantor, and this is Modeling with Mr. Cantor. Now, today we're going to be looking at Explore Part B of this specific lesson. Before we do any kind of math or any kind of analysis whatsoever, what I want you to do is to please pause this video, think about this question, see if you can look for key information that's going to really help us understand this problem and how to answer it. All right, welcome back. Now that you've had a chance to read this problem to yourself and try to look for keywords and understand this, let's read it. It says, a vending machine in an office building sells bottled beverage. The machine keeps track of all the changes in the number of bottles from sales and from machine refills and maintenance. This record shows the changes for every 5-minute period over 1 hour. So this right here is some information for us. We have 3 questions we need to answer based on this information. We're going to answer our questions over here. This is for number 1. This is for number 2. This is for number 3. And here in the middle, we have some more information. In the problem, they said that this machine records information in a 5-minute period. So this is a 5-minute period. The number of bottles is -1. In this 5-minute period, the number of bottles is +12. Let's go ahead and read number 1 and see what they are requiring us to do. Okay, number 1. What might a positive number mean in this context? What about a negative number? Okay, so pause this video for a quick second and ask yourself, based on this information, based on the fact that we're talking about a vending machine here, where bottles are coming in and bottles are going out, what could a positive number mean? What could a negative number mean? Go ahead, please pause this video. Okay, welcome back. So let's think about what you thought the answer was to that question. If the machine is losing bottles because somebody is purchasing a soda or something like that, does that mean the vending machine is positive in the sense of how much bottles it has? Or does that mean the machine is negative in the sense of how much bottles it has? Since the machine is losing bottles because we are purchasing it, even though the machine is gaining money, the amount of bottles the machine contains is less. Therefore, when we see negative numbers, you should be thinking that the amount of bottles is going down. Negative means less. So in this case, from 8 in the morning to 8:04 in the morning, when we are at -1, it means that this machine lost 1 bottle, right? And then at 8:05 to 8:09, it says +12. What could that mean? Please pause this video. Okay, welcome back. Since in the story, it says for us that the machine refills and has maintenance, this must mean that during this time, there had to be some kind of maintenance and the worker came and put in 12 more bottles into this vending machine. So negatives, people are buying the soda or whatever beverages are here. And 12 positive means that the machine was restocked and they put more bottles into the machine, specifically in this case, 12. Okay, so that pretty much answers number 1. Now for number 2, it says, what would a 0 in the second column mean in this context? So we have positive numbers, we spoke about them. We have negative numbers, we spoke about them. But what does 0 mean in this type of context? Please pause this video and see if you can figure out what the 0 stands for. Okay, welcome back. If you said that 0 stands for absolutely nothing happening during that time period, you are correct. Sometimes vending machines don't sell any bottles to anybody, you know? Nobody comes in, nobody purchases anything. So that could happen, you know? And therefore, that will be recorded as 0, no change. These numbers specifically aren't just talking about gains or losses, they're talking about change specifically. So when it's negative, we are losing. When it's positive, we are gaining. But if nothing happens, we need a way to record that too. And that's why we use the number 0. It tells us that no change occurred during that time. Now, let's take a look at number 3. Number 3 says which numbers, positive or negative, result in fewer bottles in the machine. Let's take a minute and think about everything that we spoke about. Please pause the video and try to see, can you figure out what is the answer to number 3? All right, welcome back. If you said that the number that results in fewer bottles in the machine is negative, then you are correct. Remember we said earlier that a negative amount means that you have less of something. So if you have -1 bottles, that means somebody must have bought a bottle, or specifically in this case, somebody bought 4 bottles. So with that said, minuses mean we're losing bottles and pluses mean we're gaining more. So for the answer to number 3, we would say that negative numbers represent us losing bottles. So with that said, let's move on to the next part. Now, here we have 3 more questions. Before we talk about them, I want you guys to pause this video, read these 3 questions to yourself, and try to see, do you find any key words? Do you think you know the answer to them? If so, please put the answer in the blue space provided for you on the right for number 4, 5, and 6. And then unpause the video because we're going to go over these problems. Welcome back. So for number 4, let's read it together first. Let's figure out some key information, and then we'll go ahead and answer. So number 4 says, at what time was there the greatest change to the number of bottles in the machine? How did that change affect the number of remaining bottles in the machine? So at some point throughout the day, there was a very, very drastic change. And was that change positive or negative? Meaning, did we lose bottles or did we gain bottles? So please pause the video and see if you can figure that one out. Welcome back. If you said the biggest change here was between 850 and 854, you are correct. During this time, we actually gained 24 more bottles. So the machine must have been serviced during this time, and they added 24 more bottles to this machine. Okay, so this is a positive number. So we are adding bottles to the machine. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to take a minute, pause the video, read number 5 to yourself. Again, see if you could find the key information that's important here, and go ahead and answer the question yourself. All right, welcome back. Now that you've had a chance to read the question on your own, let's read it together and let's proceed to answer it. Number 5, at which time period, 805 to 809, or was it between 825 or 829, was there a greater change to the number of bottles in the machine? Explain your reasoning. Okay, so for this one, I want to annotate on the screen. They're talking about 805 to 809. So let me highlight that. 805 to 809 is right here. And then let's use a different color. They're talking about 825 to 829. All right, here we go. So take a minute and ask yourself, between the information provided here, which one had a greater change to the number of bottles inside the vending machine? Please pause the video and go ahead and try to answer that. Okay, welcome back. If you said plus 12 is the bigger change to the number of bottles, that's actually not correct. And if you said that negative 12 between 825 and 829 is the greater change to the vending machine, that's actually also not correct. So then what's the answer here? Since both of these numbers are 12 in the sense that one is positive, one is negative, that means between both of those time periods, there isn't a greater change. It's just one, you're gaining bottles, and the other one, you're losing bottles. Okay, so let's take a look at number 6. So what I want you to do is pause the video, read number 6 to yourself, try to answer it, and then unpause the video because we're going to read it and answer it together. All right, welcome back. Number 6, the machine must be emptied to be serviced. If there are 40 bottles in the machine when it is to be serviced, what number will go in the second column in the table? In order for this machine to be serviced, meaning they're going to put more bottles in, what they want to do is first, if they want to make sure that if there are 40 bottles left, they need to take all of them out. What number should they put in the second column in the table when this happens? Pause the video and let me know what you think. All right, welcome back. At that specific time, when they need to take 40 bottles out of the machine, because that action is taking those bottles out of the machine, that means we would have to write minus 40. It is interesting because we're saying we're going to service the machine, which means we're going to put more bottles into the machine. However, because we're taking the 40 bottles out of the machine, and that's what we're starting with, then during that time before the machine can be serviced, we would have to say minus 40, because 40 bottles will be removed from the vending machine. All right. Okay. Thank you so much for watching this video. Again, I am Mr. Cantor. I hope this video has been helpful to you, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, everybody.